What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here with yet another video, and today we have Aviation News This Week, episode number 92. And we have a jam-packed episode with tons of news, and we're going to get started here with the Breeze Airway news update. So Breeze Airway has started their official route network, and to talk about the Breeze Airway route network and the flights they have started, I would like to welcome AS Aviation onto the show.
So I'm sure we've all heard of Breeze Airways, who are the newest startup airline in the United States, having officially launched revenue service on May 27th with their inaugural flight being from Tampa, Florida to Charleston, South Carolina. The airline is starting off with a fleet of 4 Embraer 190s and 3 Embraer 195s, but they do have orders for 80 Airbus A220-300s, which will be delivered starting in October of this year. Breeze initially launched with 39 routes, and they'll be having crew bases and focus cities in New Orleans, Tampa, Charleston, and Norfolk. Here is the full list of their current or upcoming routes for this summer. From Tampa, the airline currently offers 4 times weekly service to Charleston and 3 times weekly service to Tulsa. The airline still has tons of routes left to launch from Tampa, however. On June 17th, which might have already passed by the time this video is uploaded, but from June 17th they have started 4 times weekly service to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and then from June 26th they're starting once weekly service to Akron, Ohio, again from Tampa. On July 1st, they begin thrice weekly service from Tampa to Oklahoma City, and then on July 3rd, they start once weekly service to Columbus, Ohio. On July 10th, 4 times weekly service to Norfolk, Virginia begins, and then on the 22nd of July, 2 routes to Huntsville, Alabama, and Richmond, Virginia will both begin running 4 times weekly. From Charleston, South Carolina, the airline currently serves Norfolk and Louisville 4 times per week, but they also have plans to launch 4 weekly services to cities like Huntsville, Columbus, Hartford, Akron, Providence, and Richmond. From Pittsburgh, the airline will be offering 4 times weekly flights to Hartford, Providence, and Charleston, all of which are expected to begin in July. And then from Norfolk, Virginia, they're currently offering thrice weekly services to Charleston, but they have plans on July 22nd and July 29th to launch 4 times weekly flights to Hartford, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Providence. In addition, the airline will begin operations at its next focus city, New Orleans, in July, with multiple routes beginning within the first 2 weeks of the month. From New Orleans, Breeze will begin serving Akron, Charleston, Columbus, Huntsville, Oklahoma City, Norfolk, Richmond, Louisville, Tulsa, and Fayetteville. All of these cities will begin being served, again, from New Orleans within the first 2 weeks of July. And then finally, on July 15th, Breeze will launch 3 new routes from San Antonio, and then all of these are 4 times weekly, and the only 3 routes from San Antonio they'll be starting are Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Fayetteville. So these 3 cities are only just within the Midwest or southern Midwestern region from San Antonio for now. And then the last route left will be on July 22nd, where they're going to be starting service 4 times a week from Columbus to Hartford, Connecticut. And that's all the information I have regarding Breeze Airways for now. Thank you very much, Citrus. Back to you.
So that is what is happening with Breeze Airways. There's a lot of great stuff happening with them, and we have some more interesting news for headline news, and that has to do with Norwegian Air Shuttle. Now, last episode I talked about this airline going bankrupt, and a lot of people really got upset. And the reason for that is they kind of took it out of context a little bit. So Norwegian Air Shuttle is both going bankrupt and not going bankrupt. The whole thing is that Norwegian Air Shuttle's international and long-haul services, which were operated by the Spanish Norwegian Air Shuttle and the operated out of the United Kingdom and Ireland Norwegian Air Shuttle, those will be going bankrupt, and those services will no longer exist, as well as the liquidation of the gate slots, aircraft, and other assets of the airline. The Norwegian Air Shuttle, though, that operated the Boeing 737s and was based in Norway and Oslo, will continue to operate. That airline, however, is going to be going into bankruptcy protection and will be going to reassess their loans and try to get a better deal. But I think this making the airline a lot smaller is the best move, because the long haul, low fares discount airline didn't really work out super well for them, mostly in the fact that the pandemic really took them out. And so technically, yes, the Norwegian Air Shuttle I was talking about in that last video did go bankrupt, but I do apologize that it was not really super clarified. But yes, Norwegian Air Shuttle did kind of go bankrupt. They sort of half went bankrupt. The majority of their income has been significantly reduced by this. However, also the majority of their losses are going away. So hopefully they will be able to return to profitability here in the near future. Next up, we have some more major news, and Philippine Airlines has filed for Chapter 11 Bankruptcy Protection here in the United States. This occurred late in May, and I found out about this actually from comment sections on my video that did really well, Top 10 Airlines to Go Bankrupt in 2021. And tons of people commented, oh, did you see that Philippine Airlines filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy? Oh, you should talk about Philippine Airlines. They filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, they did. And hopefully this is not something that's going to be long-term or permanent for them, but the airline is filing for bankruptcy, and they are trying to raise $500 million in order to get out of their current debt situation. But this could be something really bad for Philippine Airlines, because if they are unable to raise the money, they may actually have to file for bankruptcy or file for some sort of financial restructuring, which could result in temporary suspension of service for the airline. Now, I do think that the airline is most likely going to be saved by the national government, but we don't know for sure. It is possible they won't be. And one of the biggest arguments that a lot of people make on my video of airlines that are going to go bankrupt is, they won't go bankrupt, they're a national carrier, there's too much money behind the airline and whatnot. But the thing is, here's the thing. Wealthy people, if it is a financial institution or a wealthy individual who is behind the company, wealthy people are really smart. If they see something's going on though and they don't think they can save it, they will not. They will have the company die. Whereas a government doesn't need to be profitable. Government's goals are just to exist, to continue to exist, to expand the bureaucracy, and to take more money. That's really the goal. And so, if Philippine Airlines is something that the Philippine government can just pull more money into and be able to tax more, they will do that. But if they can't, they won't. So, it's something that'll be interesting to watch. I hope Philippine Airlines survives, but it's not guaranteed. Moving on to fleet news. We have quite a bit of news here at Fleet News, and we're going to get started with this DHL A330. So, more and more aircraft are starting to get converted from passengers to freighters, and this is one of them. It is a former Hong Kong Express A330-200, and this aircraft is registered as Mike Dash Papa Victor Golf Kilo. Is an A330-342 P2F passenger to freighter converted aircraft, and it will operate for DHL. Now, this is a really cool aircraft, and it'll be interesting to see if more A330s get converted to cargo aircraft. There are more A321s also getting converted to cargo aircraft, which is a recent conversion that Airbus is starting to do. And I'm really interested to see how the growth of the cargo market continues. Meanwhile, though, Boeing does continue to hold a 98% stranglehold on the cargo market, and that's just because the aircraft have been really, really well designed to be converted to cargo aircraft. So they're in a really good position to just have a really good cargo aircraft network, and the Boeing aircraft fit the containers that go inside the cargo aircraft really well. One of the issues that a lot of airlines have had with the Airbus aircraft is a lot of them have had cabin limitations with the amount of weight they can carry or with the number of containers they can carry, because airlines that ship large amounts of goods on their cargo aircraft have standard container sizes and shapes. And the Airbus aircraft, because of the way they are designed, particularly with their fuselage cutaway section, means that the aircraft cannot carry as many of these containers as a Boeing aircraft can, and that is why the Airbus aircraft have not been as ideal for freighter operations. However, due to the significant demand of cargo in the last year, this means that a lot of airlines are willing to take on Airbus aircraft because of the significant demand increase, as Boeing is significantly backlogged with passenger to freighter conversion aircraft and with freighter orders. This photo here was taken on May the 6th, 2021, and I'm really interested to cover the cargo market as we move on through more episodes. And it's just really a topic that I find interesting, and there's a lot happening right now. Next up, we have a new special livery for Spirit Airlines. It was not that long ago we had another special livery for Spirit Airlines. It was a country music artist who had a new album. Here we have the new Free Spirit livery, which is on November 932 November Kilo. It is an Airbus A320-271neo. And this livery is sometimes also referred to as the Spirit Untamed livery, which looks really cool. This also introduces a new change to the livery, where it says Spirit.com/flyaway now on the engines. So that is a little bit better than just saying Spirit.com, because that's kind of boring. But it's interesting to see that they added that little touch there onto the engine. This photo was taken on May the 21st, 2021. Next up, Turkish Airlines has a new special livery on this Airbus A330. It is registered Tango Charlie Lima November Delta as an A330-303. This livery advertises the Turkish national football team, which is the non-American football, what we here in America call soccer and what the rest of the world calls football. Meanwhile, in the United States, we call football soccer, and we have our own version of football that we call American football. But this is a cool livery for what the rest of the world calls football, and there is quite a bit of passion and enthusiasm and excitement and money spent on football around the world, whether it's the American form of football or football around the rest of the world. The national teams are often very popular and really, really highly followed, and so you'll often see if a team's doing really well, a special livery made for that national team, and Turkish has done that here for their national team. This photo was taken on June the 2nd, 2021. Next up, AmeriJet is a cargo airline that operates quite a few aircraft. They're known for operating the Boeing 727 Advanced, the 767-200, and several other aircraft. But on the night of June 15th, they received the very first Boeing 757. And it is seen right here. This aircraft will be registered as November 818 November Hotel, and will be the very first 757-200. This aircraft is a former DHL Express aircraft, and it is really cool to see that AmeriJet has one. I'm really looking forward to see this in the skies. It'd be really cool if it comes here to Des Moines, or I could be able to see it. But it's a really cool aircraft and a great addition to their fleet. Next up, we have a new special livery for Skymarks. They are an airline based in Japan, and this is the new special livery. It is a Pokemon special livery. The aircraft is registered Juliet Alpha 73 Alpha Bravo, and this aircraft was taken in Taipei on the 16th of June 2021. This is a very, very colorful livery, as you can see. A very yellow, matching the Skymarks livery, and it's really colorful. I usually don't like this style of artwork for a livery, but this one is not bad. The final fleet news that we have for today is about Air New Zealand's remodernization of their fleet project. It is almost complete. It's been a project they've been in the works on for about 8 years. They started it around 2013, 2012 with buying a bunch of aircraft, and their very first aircraft as part of that arrived in 2014 with their Boeing 787-9. Here you can see one picture. This is a really nice picture, by the way. This photographer takes a lot of great photos, and I want to thank you, sir, for letting me use your photo in today's show. But this aircraft is, I believe, the fourth 787-9 they received. The first one was ZK-NZE. So actually, this will make it the third or fourth one. But the airline received the 787-9 as replacement for the Boeing 767. The 777-300ER arrived around the same time, and that aircraft came to replace their 747-400 fleet, which is obviously one of the most legendary, historic Air New Zealand aircraft. The A320 were replaced by the A320neos, and that process is currently going on. The A321neo is a new aircraft to the fleet, operating with more flexibility and additional range. The ATR 72-600s replaced the Dash 8 Q300s, And the last aircraft that needs to be replaced will be the 777-200ERs, which will be replaced by the Boeing 787-10. Now that has not yet occurred because Air New Zealand decided to delay the delivery of their 787-10s, but the modernization of their fleet is almost complete, which is really cool. And Air New Zealand is one of those airlines where they've been pretty successful with modernizing their fleet. Their brand image has been completely changed. I really like this airline. I think it's really cool. And I really hope they have success. And a great photo by the photographer. And it is just something that I like to give an update on, because I really haven't talked about Air New Zealand on this show ever. That's right. 92 episodes in, and this is the first time that I know of that I've talked about Air New Zealand on the show at all. So I wanted to talk about them and talk about their fleet. So that is it for the news for this episode. I do have a couple things I want to talk about, and that is that the channel growth has been absolutely gigantic. And my video Top 10 Airlines to Go Bankrupt in 2021 hit 100,000 views. So the video hit 100,000 views on June 9th, 2021, and now I'm recording this on June 18th. The video is sitting at 150,000 views. That is ridiculous, and I want to thank you guys so much for all the massive support and for getting the video to a point where the YouTube algorithm has now allowed the video to take off. I want to show you this screenshot here of my analytics, just because I want to share with you guys what it really is like to get this kind of views. So in the last month, from May 18th to June 18th, we've had 118.1 thousand views. We've had 11.4k watch hours, gained 428 subscribers, and made $385.65 in ad revenue, which is a ridiculous amount. And you can see what the graph here looks like for the views. So we really spiked starting around June the 4th, and it started to come down recently, starting around the June 14th or so. But the video in that time period gained 109,000 views just in that month period, which is ridiculous. And I really appreciate all the support on the videos, and I just want to show you guys what some of the analytics look like for a channel who's making this number of views, because I know a lot of people don't like to do it, but I want to do it because I want to help you guys out if you are trying to start your own channel. And basically what the best thing I can say is, if you want to have your own successful YouTube videos, is just be persistent. Keep making your videos, keep improving the quality of your videos, and keep trying new things, and eventually you will be successful. So this YouTube channel's made a decent amount of money. In fact, my audio equipment, just from the ad revenue, is almost basically half paid off just from the last couple months of ad revenue. So that's really appreciated. I will do a video on the new audio equipment that you are listening to this video on, and there'll be some new ways that you can listen to me more often in some upcoming announcements I'll make. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless you.